When the Mwanaporo masquerade was convinced that the people had enough share of the dancing time, it resumed the acrobatic dances until the end of the show on water. After the dances on the Zambezi River, the cultural festivities shifted to the West Bank across the Zambezi River. All the masquerades of different shape and character moved alongside people on boats. At every stage of the festivities, mood setters were at hand to keep the momentum. In the olden days, before water and sanitation issues became more and more of a priority, many communities thrived on water from a stream or well. The Luvale women performed the activity to remember the experiences of the bygone days. Though things might have changed for the better in some rural settlements, a well still remained a common source of water for drinking. As the women sang around the well, the stage was getting ripe for more festivities at the west bank of the mighty Zambezi River in the afternoon. Thousands of people had already gathered to participate in the pre-launch cultural activities for both the Safeguarding Project launch and the annual Likumbiliamiza traditional ceremony. The dramatic arrival of Chizaluke Masquerade was exciting. Chizaluke is one of the masquerades brought to the dancing arena shoulder high. Carefully dressed in soft furs or skins and colorful calico wraps, Chizaluke's naturally dignified appearance is further enhanced by the styling of the headgear, which is decorated with tufts of white woolly hair that is symbolic of old age and wisdom. Chizaluke makes all types of moves to test the strength of the men carrying it to the dancing arena. Carrying Chizaluke has never been a job for the weak, as it is a serious taboo to drop the masquerade. In no time, the visitors were availed the opportunity to see some of the most refined drumming skills. The traditional activities at the West Bank met UNESCO's description of the Luvale cultural expression as an intangible cultural heritage in all aspects. The culture is transmitted from generation to generation, constantly recreated by communities and groups in response to their environment and interaction with nature. Even the skills of a masquerade such as Chizaluke have filtered from one generation to the other. Chizaluke will always be sandwiched during the dancing spree. The women this year were alert to the fact that the success of the launch of the Safeguarding Project and the annual Likumbiliamiza traditional ceremony required their full participation. As time moved on, Chizaluke was surrounded by hundreds of women on the stage, prepared to dance up to the last hour of the festivities. When it came to celebrations, the Luwale-speaking peoples have all the energy. Another masquerade which danced like Chizaluke was Ngaji. It is considered to be a non-aggressive masquerade, graceful, though resembling Chizaluke in dancing, style and popularity with female audiences. Ngaji has different attributes.
Ngashina kinyivene na kie na kinyivene fifu sizaluke na kie chikukina nga fifu nonyi waliseza kuihanga ngashina chihanga chenyi sizaluke na chihanga chenyi.
Like many other masquerades, Ngaji's presence creates an air of atmosphere and fascinates audiences. The Luvale culture has survived some considerable social upheavals, such as colonial repression in neighboring Angola, forced labor migrations, and lack of resources for safeguarding initiatives. Furthermore, there has been a considerable demand for young men who have not gone through the rituals of traditional circumcision camps to dress up as masquerades for non-ceremonial reasons. The development is believed to undermine the sanctity of the cultural expression. The good news, however, was that the UNESCO Safeguarding Project seeks to address such threats so that the masquerades can continue to thrill audiences. With the sun bidding farewell, the masquerades disappeared back to the world of the dead to recharge their energies for the combined festivities of the launch of the Safeguarding Project and the annual Likumbilia Mizi ceremony. Senior Chief Ndungu's Mize capital was the venue for the day of the Likumbilia Mize traditional ceremony and the launch of the Makishi Masquerade Safeguarding Project on the 27th of September this year. People from far and near gathered at the arena in the Mize capital to witness the event, one of the biggest on Zambia's traditional calendar this year. The guest of honor was the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Rupia Bwezani-Banda, who at that time held the position of Vice President. Also in attendance were ministers, some senior government officials, and tourists. Some traditional leaders from other parts of the country arrived to witness the celebrations. A throng of women were at hand to escort all the visiting traditional leaders into the arena. Senior Chief Ndungu and his wife arrived on the royal cart pulled by the royal guards. Senior Chief Ndungu ascended to the throne in the year 2001 and is one of the 6 Luvale senior chiefs who have used the Mize capital since its establishment over half a century ago. Once the senior chief had taken his royal seat, ululating women sang songs of praise to their traditional leader. Before the arrival of the Makishi masquerades, mood-setting performing groups took to the stage to entertain the audience. To safeguard the culture, the Luvales have ensured that no performing group used modern equipment. Some of the traditional musical instruments are simple. A Luvale man is able to entertain people with sound produced by striking 2 ordinary metals, in most cases combined with the sound of a special drum called ngomapwita. With only the 2 instruments, the stage could be declared fertile enough for a carnival. From the creation of the Makishi masquerade to traditional musical instruments and dance, the Luvale culture has what it takes to receive the highest honor in the world of culture. The grand occasion for the launch of the Makishi Safeguarding Project and Likumbili Day attracted cultural performing groups from within northwestern and western provinces of Zambia, where the Luvale-speaking peoples are mostly found. Indeed, there was enough music and dancers in the music capital of the Luvale-speaking peoples. The Luvale culture has reached where it is today because of the determination by the Luvale traditionalists to pass knowledge and skills to the young ones. The official program began with the traditional performance called Kulifukula. In a mixture of Luvale, Lunda, and Luba tongues, the performer recited the Luvale people's history before the ruling senior chief. The senior chief nodded his head as a way of showing appreciation of the message about the Luvale origins, the glory of bygone days, and the old fabulously wealthy kingdoms of Luvale chiefs and their trading contacts with the Portuguese. When the praise singer finished his part, all eyes and ears were directed to Kutopoka, a royal dance. In the olden days of tribal wars, warriors danced with knives covered with blood as a symbol of victory over the enemy. The end of Kutopoka dance pushed the program of the day to another interesting part of the grand occasion. The procession of Makishi Masquerade into the dancing arena was led by a character called Chizaluke. Chizaluke is a character depicting a wise elderly man. The masquerade had the skill of twitching its body from side to side while leaning on a walking stick to the delight of the audience. As the Luvale senior chief enjoyed the rich cultural heritage of his land, there were close to 40 different Makishi characters on this day. However, others by their nature were not allowed to come close to the people. Among those that could easily come near people was the king of the Makishi masquerade called Kaipu. The masquerade wears a blanket rather than animal skin. Once the entry formalities were done, Kaipu took the royal seat. As king of the entire Makishi family, other masquerades had to perform the royal salute in recognition of its position in the world of the dead. The Luvale-speaking peoples could not conceal their happiness during the occasion, especially that the future looked bright.
Today also marks the launch of the Makishi Masquerade Safeguarding Project, which to us, as a Makishi practicing community, is very dear to us, and because culture builds a nation, and this partnership with UNESCO fits in very well with our aspirations of seeing our culture continuing without being diluted by cultural, by the fact that the culture is so rich and by commercialization.
With the support from UNESCO, the Makishi Masquerade practicing communities should remain committed to their culture.
This is a clear indication that this cultural expression is of great significance and should be preserved at all costs. The practicing communities Therefore, you've got every reason to be proud of their cultural identity, and they have got no reason to be ashamed at all when they are putting on their masks and when they are dancing for their king.
What was even more pleasing to the participating communities was the commitment by government to push the country's culture to a new high.
Recognizing the importance of culture, government has established a national cultural policy. We are also reviewing the current legislature to conform to the current thinking of the rebirth of Renaissance of African culture and its integration into mainstream development.
After the speeches, the Makishi Masquerade lined up for the launch of the safeguarding project. The guest of honor launched the project when he simply shook hands with the king of the Makishi Masquerade, Kaipu. The launch was received with much joy. The Makishi Masquerade opened the stage with astonishing dancing skills. The Luvale cultural expression, which today enjoys the same recognition as the samba of Brazil, still faces a difficult time. However, the problem of lack of resources for the safeguarding of the Luvale cultural heritage is now on the shelves of history, following the securing of over $90,000 by the UNESCO from the Japanese Fund in Trust. The advantage is that the money came and found already an inbuilt traditional system which supported the process of intergenerational and peer transmission of skills to younger generations, one which promoted awareness of the importance